We got someone coming in here who's been on fire. His team's been on fire. Sam Ersson with the Philadelphia Flyers, goalie. Congrats on the win last night. I got to start off right here. I see you in your gear. You look dialed in. Look at this head of hair right
beautiful.
Now. I mean, what a... Hey, buddy. We both were fortunate enough to play with Hank, and Hank's got a good head of hair. This might be the best goalie hair I've ever seen.
I would call it magnificent.
Look at that. Look at the side-by-side there. That's nice.
That's a great. I mean, to be compared with Hank in any scenario, it's a true honor. So, thanks for the compliment.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's unbelievable. We see you in your mask. Hey, congrats again. Wow. It's been fun watching you this season. Big, huge win last night. I just want to ask you right off the top because the big talk around social media last night was Owen Tippett's goal. What did that look like from your end?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sick, really, and he does that to me in practice all the time. So can't say I'm all too surprised, but I mean that's just what he does. Great player.
It's got to be a lot of fun watching it. I'm having so much fun watching this team. I'm a big fan of John Tortorella and what he did for me in my career. And Rupper, I know you played for him as well. I just loved his accountability, right? And can you explain as a goalie kind of what it's like to play for him?
I mean, to be honest, he's a little bit maybe laid back to us goalies. Kind of, he knows we're a little bit special in some scenarios. He gives us a little bit more time of our own and leaves us. Dilly takes care of us, but obviously what he brings to our team and our locker room, just like you said, the accountability and. Yes, he's set the bar here for our group and our locker room.
Hey, I want to ask you this because we're kind of talking about it. We both played with Swedes. We've played with all different nationalities, just like you have. And some of the guys I got really close to. I'm not comparing Swedes and Finns.
Yes, you are. He was
No,
earlier.
I was not. I understand you guys are competitive against each other, two separate countries. But a lot of the Finns, I got turned on to it when I was playing in Minnesota with like a Mikko Koivu, Mikael Granlund, the sauna. And the use of a sauna and how good it is to get the contrast. And these guys would tell stories back playing in Finland where, they'd sit there after games and they have like basically sauna parties. They go and they jump in the, cold water, cold tub, go back in the sauna. Is that something that's prevalent in Sweden as well?
It is. I gotta say, Finns, they're a breed of their own. I mean, they're special. You can't really go toe to toe with the Finns in the sauna, but I gotta say, we Swedes, we love it too. I mean, it's definitely nice, especially in the hard winter back home in the north. So get into the warmth of a nice sauna is never a bad thing.
Do you wear the hat? I seen the hat. You ever seen the hat?
I've only seen the Russians wear the hat, and then they get like that. They get like that leafy stick, and they hit each other with it. You never had that? The Russians did that in Jersey. Have you ever seen that?
I think that's a Russian thing, but I mean, it looks, I don't know what it does, but they seem to love it, definitely, and maybe have a couple nice beverages in there as well. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, just a few. Just a few. Just a few.
Oh, yeah, you got to be careful. Well, you could have had a couple beverages, but maybe not. Maybe you needed a workout last night after the game. One shot in the first. Now, I know that's not easy for a goalie, but can you take us through last night's game?
I mean, again, credit to the guys in front of me. I mean, that's one thing that we've been doing so well all season long is blocking shots. So it's hard for me to complain when I don't see a lot of action, but sometimes it helps to see the puck just a little bit more to kind of get into the game. But I take what I can get.
Hey, we were joking around off the top with our boy Hank, and obviously he was one of the things. We went over and played the Premier games. Geez, that was back in, I was going to date ourselves here. That was back in like 2011, I want to say, somewhere around that time. And we got to play in Gothenburg. We went to Stockholm, and we got to see like how big Hank was. It felt like we were traveling with like the Beatles, like a rock star, right? And was that the guy you looked up to? Or who were some of the other influences growing up in Sweden as far as playing goal?
I mean, 100%. When you have a guy like Hank, who's from Sweden, and what he's been able to do in the NHL, but also on the national team stage, it's hard not to look at a guy like that and be inspired. But I think also a guy like Carey Price, the way he played his game, just making everything look so calm, was also one of those players you kind of look to and kind of try to take some things out of their game, what they do so well, and try to implement it into my own game.
Have you had many interactions with Henrik? Have you spoken with him
I have
at all?
not yet, but like I said, he's definitely a guy that I've followed his career and what he did in Rangers, and just the level of compete he brings, and just how he approached the games. It's hard not to be inspired by a guy like that.
Well, I have a feeling you will soon. He'll probably reach out. You guys, I love how you Swedes kind of all stick together. Going back to when you were younger, though, when did you start as a goalie? Did you start right in the net, or were you playing out as a forward or a defenseman? How did you decide that goalie was your spot?
What do you say? You put the bad skaters in that, something like that.
I should have been a goalie.
I didn't play goalie then. I should have played goalie.
Yeah, but I actually started off playing Bandy, which is kind of a mix between hockey and soccer. It's big rink, big goals.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
what I started with. And then when I was 10, I went into hockey, and not being the best skater, I safely put myself in net. Didn't have to move around all that much.
It's funny you said that. I literally, in the last month, I was on Instagram and I came across like a Bandy site. There was, I guess, a league or whatever, and I started following it. And every day I start seeing it. It's incredible. Do you ever see how
But aren't they
fast
flying around?
they're flying around
So wouldn't
the
you
ice.
be a good skater playing Bandy? That's right.
I mean, I quit at an early age.
Oh,
okay.
Too much skating.
But, yeah, exactly. But it's a fun sport. You play outside. I mean, the weather allows it back home, so it's definitely a special game, and it's only big, I think, in Sweden and Russia. But I think, I mean, it's a fun game to watch, and I try to get a little bit out of it as well, just to maybe the way you play the game with the skating and all that. I thought it was a real fun sport, but hockey was the sport I fell in love with.
Not always. I'm not gonna. Well, I am doing this. I'm not meaning to bring this back to Hank all the time, but I remember he was always. That was one thing when I got to the Rangers and saw every day after practice he wanted to work on shootouts. Mm-hmm. And here you are sitting here leading the league right now in shootout success and wins. Is that something that, is that, have you always thrived in that area? Is that an area where it just brings your competitive nature out? Why are you doing so well in that kind of extra frame?
I don't know, really. I also enjoy after practice. It's that little bit of a competition that you can bring in, and it's one of those moments where you, as a goalie, has a chance to step up and be a huge part of a win for your team. So you just gotta enjoy those moments and have the spotlight on you.
Talking to your career a little bit and your opportunities to play for your home country in Sweden, what was that like? In 19, I believe you played in the World Juniors.
It's special. Anytime you get to represent your country, obviously, it's a huge honor, and I think you could also see how the impact of having the World Juniors back home now in Sweden, how the amount of media and hype around it this year was fun to see. I try to tune into every game I could, and it gets people interested. I think it's one of the best tournaments around, and I mean, it's a fun tradition. Every time Christmas time, you have some time with your family and you get to watch World Juniors. It's definitely something I've been grown up watching and love to see.
Sweden always has the best sweaters too. I
Love them.
I've loved them since I was a kid. Right, just very clean, crisp, great color scheme. I love that and how passionate the fans are over there in Sweden. Hey, we got a part of this before we let you go where we're going to show you a picture and we want to know what you're thinking in these moments, or if you remember these moments and all that good stuff. So we'll pop one up here and just let us know what you were thinking in these moments. What we got? Where's this?
Ooh. This is back home in my summer cottage. Just, you know, you gotta get a little nice sweat in, and I mean, you can't complain on the view. It's one of my favorite places to be, and why not get a little pump in?
You know what's I'm curious with this too, but what kind of wildlife? Because you know, in the United States, there's certain parts of the country where you have brown bears, like grizzly bears. Out east here, it's more black bears. What kind of bear life do you have out in Sweden? Is it a big mix, or do you not many bears, ton of bears? What's it like?
There's some bears, maybe not where they're more up north. I try to stay away from them as much as I can, but it's a little bit more on the safe side where we're trying to stay.
I mean, I kind of sound like Ilya Briskralov right there for a minute talking about the bears. I'm just curious. I see the wilderness there. I'm like, what kind of? Yeah, I thought of bears, but it looks beautiful.
I want to know how you got all that gym gear out there. That was a workout one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to get your work in during the summer. So
Yeah.
I like to spend my time over there in the cottage, and we're trying to build up all mini gyms. I don't have to go back into the city all that much.
What time was that? That could have been in the summer in Sweden. That could have been at like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? It's bright out.
Probably was.
Good. Get the pump.
All right, we'll throw another one out
All right.
here. What else we got?
Oh.
You remember that?
You can tell I'm not much of a baseball player with that stance, but I remember it was a big win for me. It was one of my first wins with the Flyers, so just looks like I'm ready to take a swing for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First win, you're always going to remember that, man. And you've been adding quite a few since then.
Yeah.
But it's got to feel good, right? Like in that moment, though, are you like, when did you have your like I made it moment? Was it just getting out there in your first game? Was it, you know, signing a contract? When was that moment for you?
I think probably that getting my first win was definitely a special moment, and when you feel that you get the win, you earned that, and it takes you back for all the hard work you put in and the amount of sacrifice that your family has made for you to get that far. So definitely one of the special moments of my life and of my career.
Why the bat? Why did you guys decide on the bat?
I don't know why they started with the bat, but it was just something that they had going on when I got called up. So yeah, just they want you to take your best stance there, and you could tell I'm very much a rookie.
Oh, it looked fine to me.
That looked good.
Big baseball guy,
it was like when they ask you, like when we play Little League, like when you do your pictures, like on photo day, and they make you like stand. It doesn't feel right, but it looks good.
Yeah, it
right?
looks fine.
You look good.
What do you guys do now? Do you guys still have the bat?
No, we changed it to we got a dog mask and a little collar, neck collar. So
A neck
we
collar.
like to see ourselves as a bunch of dogs in the Flyers.
Yeah, man.
Getting wild in that locker room. I love it.
That
That thing's getting passed around a lot. You got a lot of wins.
Sure is. I think we got like a couple more here.
Yep.
What else? Where's this at?
Not bad.
Oh, me and the boys. It's back in Åre, which is a ski resort in Sweden, but it's very nice. Go hiking there in the summer, so it's on top of the mountain there, and again, nice view and good-looking guys.
I won't ask you about any whale life in the water or any other, no other animal talk.
Bears
here.
can swim.
Bears can swim. They can't swim. But no, hey, this is so with are you like you like to get outdoorsy, like hiking? Your body's kind of, you know, is outdoor life a big thing in Sweden for you?
100%, especially during summer. I mean, I get the best of two worlds. I get to go back home to Sweden in the summers when the weather is great. It's not so much in the winter. It's too dark and too cold. But in the summer, it's definitely such a great place to be. And I try to get outdoors as much as I can. And I feel like it's just good for me and good for my soul.
I love that. You got to get outside. Vitamin D.
Hey, I think we got one more for you.
Oh, yeah, one more. Do you remember this?
Me and Deal. I think this is after first shutout in Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Yeah. So again, huge moment for me and something I remember. And again, just a special moment. Things win that you won't forget, especially having this with the group of guys. And just yeah, awesome.
Oh. Well, that's great, man. Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on here. It's great getting to know you, getting to see you. You know, best of luck to you guys. Hey, one piece of advice here, and this little inside joke, B, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I've heard this story. I think you may have been there. Don't ever look at Torts and do this.
Oh, no.
Don't ever give him the guns like, gotcha, Torts. There's someone who did that once. There was someone once upon a time. Yeah. You were on the team. You want to tell it real quick? Or no?
I don't know if I was on the team yet. I think that was.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
I do, and I've ran into him a few times. Great guy. Aaron Boros was playing for the Rangers, and he was a depth guy, kind of like we were, and really started playing well. And Torts complimented him in front of the whole team, which I'm sure you know doesn't. Maybe it happens more now, but it didn't happen a whole lot back then. And he just did this to him, and
Torts
blew up.
He blew up. Yeah. Gave him like that gotcha, Torts.
Yeah, he's like, right back at you.
I heard he was like, did you just shoot me? Did you just shoot me? And he was like, he wasn't having it.
Yeah, don't do that.
No double guns to Torts. You don't want that. But hey, keep doing your thing. We love watching you. Thanks for popping on.